Here I am doing another reading for you to catch you up on everything that's been happening, of course. So, along with the other things I didn't get to comment on during the week, was things have really shifted with Mark Corallo, the White House advisor who left after the Air Force One famous flight, who's going to be interviewed by Mueller, and Steve Bannon being re-interviewed. This does not look good for Donnie Jr. and in a way it brings all the crapola home and dumps it in Trump's crotch. All right. Up until recently, up until last week even, I would have thought Trump's going to get away with all this shit because that's how things happen. And now with the Mark Corallo interview, things are changing and not in a good way for Trump. It puts him at the heart of a conspiracy and obstruction. And of course his girlfriend, Hope Hicks, is now in deep caca. All right, now in Michael Wolff's book, he thought that Trump's having an affair with Nikki Haley. I don't think so. I think her politics are too different from Trump, actually, but regardless, I don't think so. I stand by my reading that it's Hope Hicks, and I think she's gone all the way with Trump. She almost got away with it too. Almost got away with it, and they thought, oh, she was young and naive and, you know, we'll just grill her and let her go. But her statement saying the emails will never get out is really bad because it's supported by the testimony of both Mark Corallo and Bannon. So let us see what is happening with this new round of interviews. So I'm going to combine the two, the Corallo and Bannon, the new interviews with Corallo and Bannon, new interviews with Corallo and Bannon, new interviews Corallo and Bannon, the new interviews. Oh, looky, looky, looky. Okay, how's it going to pan out for these guys? The first card, the Eight of Cups, shorthand for tarot readers, is walking away. Interesting, because it's a bit tricky when you're reading two people simultaneously who aren't a couple, etc. When you're reading two people simultaneously, but in this case, both Corallo and Bannon have left. So, although we thought we knew everything that Bannon had to say, this is another dimension, and they're bonded together. Now they've left. They are committed to having to do these extra interviews with Mueller. Now, here we have the King of Pentacles. I don't know Corallo's backstory particularly. I'm sure he's not poor. We know Bannon has a lot of money. They both could be represented by the King of Pentacles. It's also a card that comes up with Trump. So it's about being dazzled by wealth, working for wealth. Putting all your moral worth and all your intellectual energy into money. So let's see. Across that, the Queen of Wands. Now, traditionally an older woman, a very powerful woman. So at this stage of the reading, I think it's too old to be Hope Hicks, I would suggest at this stage, don't forget Mueller has such a large team. It's not him across the desk doing every interview and putting the analysis together. I think if there's an older woman on his team, or possibly a judge who will be acting in this, who will be putting this story together. So it's a legal woman of considerable power and intellect. Do not fuck with this woman. Okay? Now these are both blokey blokes. If they're interviewed by a woman, I don't know how they'd react to it. Be interesting, but she could well be a judge further down the track in relation to this case. Once again, the quintessential rip-off card, running away with what you can get. This, in a way, is emblematic of the whole Trump regime. But in relation to this, I think it's cut and run. So if you take it that they've both left, my interpretation in this reading is they've both cut and run, but they've been caught before they got, you know, on the boat, on the plane, out of the picture. They've been called back. So they've both got away with a lot in the past, but they've been called back. That's the essence of the message of this card, I think, here in this position. In the recent past, the Hermit. Now, again, we're talking about Mark Corallo and Bannon. Both of them, interestingly enough, have retreated. I mean, compared with Bannon being visible and voicing what he thinks morning, noon and night, he's been comparatively quiet. There's been talk about him, but he hasn't been saying much since the Fire and Fury book. Corallo also has been very low profile since he left, and we now know why. He's been sitting on this, and I wonder ethically whether he is disappointed and scared he's been called up, or whether he's secretly relieved. He was maybe still a sentient person enough to be horrified by what he witnessed. I get the impression he was very disturbed by what went on in those meetings around that time. Overriding this, justice. Yeah. And that bears out what I was just thinking intuitively myself. I think they both know, Bannon because he's been around the block a few times, he also knows he blew it with everything he said in the book. He can't backtrack now and just go to Trump, oh, I didn't mean it, I was in a bad mood, or I was a bit pissed when I said that, or it'll be right, mate. No, it won't be right, Steve. You know it'll never be right again. It's in the hands of justice. And it's the same for Corallo. He had the principle enough to leave, and now his story is in the hands of blind justice. It's out of the hands of the spin doctors and into the arena of blind justice. Okay. How do they see themselves in the situation? The Tower. They both know this is explosive testimony. Even though Mueller's been at it for a year, and even though I'm sure he's got stuff that is going to blow our socks off, right? Those of us who follow this story know that Mueller's sitting on a lot of shit. But for whatever reason, karmically and in terms of destiny for Trump and this whole administration, what these two men are forced to say now to Mueller is absolutely explosive. It could be the thing that brings down the tower, because it puts Trump right in the driver's seat. He wrote the original draft that Hope Hicks then went on to, you know, tart up and so forth, protecting Donald Jr. And they have been caught. They didn't get away. Okay, on top of this is the Queen of Pentacles. Now, again, usually an older woman, and I find this interesting. I'm thinking here it could be female lawyer and a female judge. I see these as older women who are part of how this trial plays out. The queens are there. Okay, the atmosphere, another queen. Look at this. You probably can't see in the light, but Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups. So women are going to be very instrumental in a way that's not obvious for us on the outside to bringing this undone. This Queen of Pentacles in the atmosphere position, it's emotionally charged. So they're talking about money, they're talking about decisions that were made, and they're talking about the emotional aftermath of those decisions. Short-term outcome, Ace of Pentacles, Fool's Gold, Hand of God, Clouds Brewing. So, about money, but don't be fooled by the money. We just had the Queen of Pentacles who'll be chasing the money. That's why I think this one is the lawyer, the female lawyer on Mueller's team who's cracked it. I think she's actually done an amazing job. And the Queen of Wands who'll be the judicial figure. Slightly further out we have the Knight of Cups. Interesting, money and emotions. This whole reading is about money and emotions and how people are emotionally attached to money, emotionally driven by money, and emotionally prostituted to money, and how money fails in a way to give them that satisfaction that they seek. The Knight is making an offer, but if you look, the cup is empty. So an offer is being made, could be more in terms of plea deals, and the Page of Swords. Okay, as the final card for this reading, I think this takes us all the way back to Donald Jr. I think he's the Page of Swords, out there thinking he knows it all, running around the world. It's beside the tower. It's a younger figure, brought down by this whole scenario. This isn't Trump. I think this is Don Jr. about to be done over like a dog's dinner. Oh my God. All right then, everyone. I'm thrilled to be doing more readings for you. And keep those comments coming. Don't forget the thumbs up. Thank you guys. Bye from Oz.